I'm live. I'm live. Let's see who comes into the credit and cash flow room. Hello, hello, hello. I uploaded one of my, make sure my mic is good, older videos today. And I heard myself saying, hello, hello, hello. That's the way I used to go on my live streams. Let's put the 5 minutes of fame in. Let's see, can I find this countdown timer? Let's see, can I pull it up? As you come in, drop your city and state. Say hello. If I can find it. Yeah, I think I can find it. Let me see. Hello, Miss Jesus already in. She says hello. Try not to have it that big though. There we go. So let's go ahead and put you all in the critical cash flow room. Miss Jesus saying hello. Miss Jesus, hello to you. Hello from Ohio. You know, I think Ohio has statewide, I think, one of the highest credit scores statewide. Is it Ohio? Let me check that real quick. Or is it Iowa? A lot of people don't know that states have their own credit scores on average, right? We're saying Ohio is on average of a 678 credit score. The average credit card balance is 5,843. So let me see what that Iowa. So been listening to a lot of things. And yeah, Iowa is a 695 average credit score. And what a lot of people don't know is that your states have average credit scores. So if you have a residential location in the state with the average credit score, right, when you apply for lines of credit, you would get a higher credit limit, right? So for example, Mississippi is the lowest average credit scores in all of the 49 states. And so I may apply for a credit card in Mississippi and may get a $5,000 balance. But if I had an Iowa address, for example, then I would get maybe a $20,000 or $25,000. So I tell people all the time, your address matters, right? Your address matters. I didn't mean to go here, but let me see. Mississippi average credit score is a 647. And we can break this down by state. I could share that with you all. Because I think in Louisiana is behind us at 650. So I may show you all those graphs because everything in the credit world is red line, right? Hello, Morn from Detroit, and we had Gwen from Dallas, Texas. Ms. G said she beat Martin. Said Martin was not the first. Yes, Gwen is sending love from Dallas, Texas. Edinburgh, Texas. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Credit and Cash Flow Room, Edinburgh. Also have Dave Sincere from the ATL. Let me see this text. Dave's name. We got Chi-Town in. Hello, Sandra from the Chi. All right. Hello, Sandra from the Chi. Then Shaquita Lopez said, would you help me out because I'm trying to establish my credit right now? Sure. Go to my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com, and select the tab that says credit help. Invest in your credit consultation. under the tab of credit help, and I will be glad, right, more than happy to help you get your credit on tap, right? All right, 48 seconds and counting. Okay, Maureen, when my timer goes off, I will go over there. I'll show you all the average credit scores when my timer goes off. Yes, zip codes matter. Tell you all that all the time. M. Smith says, what can I do to boost my credit score fast? I answer that question after my 5 minutes of fame is up. Stacy says, hello, Stacy from South Carolina is in the credit and cash flow room. We have Tiffany from Miami, Florida, and that is the 305, if I'm not mistaken. We got JB in the house, 2 ATLs from Atlanta. Hello, JB. As my 5 minutes of fame has ended, but let me continue to give you all these shout outs. Montgomery, Alabama. Hello. Hello, Montgomery, Alabama, in the credit and cash flow room. Hello to you as well, Georgie's land, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Hello to you. Hello from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Let me adjust my camera just a little bit. All right, U.S. Virgin Island. Hello. Georgia's land. What to do if a collection is back after it's been deleted? Who got your collection deleted in the first place? Did you do it yourself, or did you hire someone to delete that for you? Okay, the 305. All right, Nyla from Miami. And we have another Georgia working on someone's credit report right now from Atlanta, Georgia, right? It's on my desk. It's in the house as well. So that's the 5 minutes of fame with that. And let me take that. You need credit help and credit assistance. Visit my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com. Now, I don't mind asking some questions, but this will not be a long live stream. Just know I do not go live to answer questions for free, right, that people pay me to answer, right? That will not be righteous and right to give you free credit help and answers that other people have to invest in for my consulting. And they often start with the 125 consultation. Now, Sandra, hello to you. And Georgia, I'm assuming since you did it alone, maybe that collector was sold to another collector, right? And maybe it was, maybe you read your credit wrong where it stated it was removed and not deleted. So there's so many moving pieces to that question that I can't really answer. I was going to direct you back to your credit professional if you had someone to do the work for you and the deletion came back or the collection came back, right? But look at the language. Did it say it was deleted or removed, right? And if it was deleted, there is a law under the, sorry, had a little net, under the Fair Credit Reporting Act that states if an account is deleted, that they must notify you of the reinsertion of the account. And if you did not get proper notification, then you have, I'm sorry, I can't let this gnat make it, wow. It'll aggravate me all night. Then you will have a right to dispute it under that Fair Credit Reporting Act law, that it was restated on your credit report without the proper notification of the reinsertion, right? And so that's one of many ways you can do that. All right, so this is not a consultation. I haven't looked at your credit, and I often don't give free credit advice, right? But there's just some ways to lead you. If you're looking to do it on your own, you can do your due diligence, do your research, find out what that law is, and there could be one of strategies or many strategies after a collection has been placed back on there, right? All right, so on to my topic. Send this text message. All right, so hello. Some people are coming back in. We got Bama is in the house, and David says hello as well. I think I saw another question. Let me scroll up. M. Smith says, how can I boost my credit score fast? Now, this is what I want you to know. There is something from Experian Boost, right, in which you add your utilities to your credit score, which will boost your credit score. However, doing the Experian Boost method is not the credit score that your banks and lenders will use, right? Experian Boost is only for Experian, right? So even if it gives a boost temporarily to your credit report by adding your utilities, right, if they are paid on time, this is still not the FICO score that your banks and lenders will use. So it's just a boost through Experian. You have a lot of people that help people in the credit industry, and they brag that this person has received points increase, but it's still not that true credit score that the banks and lenders will move, right? And so the best way to increase your credit score fast, if you have no negatives reporting on your credit report within the last 2 years, is to pay down or off your credit card debts, right? So pay off your credit card debts, pay them down if you have them, right? Again, I don't know your credit profile, but if you have credit card debt and it's above 30% of the or higher of your credit limit, you want to pay those down to either zero or definitely below the 30%. So for example, if you have a $5,000 credit limit credit card, you want to pay that balance down under $1,500 if the card is higher than $1,500. That will increase your credit and boost your credit score, your true credit score fast, in addition to making sure that no negative accounts within the last 2 years are on your credit report. For people that want to use that strategy, I also coach and consult them through my home-based business, where at minimum they can get an additional $600 a week out of their paycheck, right, to help pay down bad debt, right? Bad debt. Georgia, if you want my services or anyone interested in my service and consultation, go to the website, streaming at the bottom of the screen, fixmycreditandcash.com. There's a tab on top that says credit help. So real quick, let's look at the average credit scores of each state, so you can understand somewhat the red lining system, right? Meaning that whatever state you are in, according to the average credit scores, and just note that these are Vantage scores, right, could assist you in getting better or higher credit limits, right? So okay, I'm just reading this article. So for example, Alabama, the average credit score is 654. Alaska is 668, right? 668. Arizona 669. Arkansas 657. Arkansas is not too far from Mississippi. California is a 680 average. Connecticut 690, right? So District of Columbia, and these are then the red zones within these states also differ, right? Your zip code, in other words, the zip code in these states. But on average, this is what it calculates for the states with the highest to lowest credit scores. District of Columbia, 670. Delaware, 672. Florida, 668. We have Georgia, 654. A lot of people from Georgia are always seeking credit consultation because it is illegal for credit repair businesses to operate in Georgia, right? Hawaii, look at that, is 693. Idaho, I think that was why I was a 681. Illinois, 683. Indiana, 667. Iowa, 695. Kansas, and Kentucky is 663. Look at Louisiana, 650, right? Maine is 689. Maryland, 672. Massachusetts, right? Almost at 700 for the big, well, not the big M, but one of the big M's, 699. You have Michigan. That's the people from the 313, right, at 677. Look at Minnesota in the 700. So just imagine, right, if you had a zip code in Minnesota when you apply for credit, right, in the better geographical locations. My state, the lowest, and it doesn't surprise me because usually your credit score is in relation to your income, right? Is a 647, Missouri 675, Montana 689, Nebraska 695, Nevada 655, New Hampshire in the 700s, 701, New Jersey 686, New Mexico 659, New York 688, North Carolina 686, and we got North Dakota 697, right? So I can tell you that Mississippi is the lowest, and I won't read all the states, but we have South Dakota in the 700s, right? Tennessee, where Dave Ramsey lives, right? Financial Guru 662, or some people may, yeah. Virginia 680. I think I had someone in Virginia in the house. Vermont 702. Washington 693. WV West Virginia 658. Then we have Wisconsin 698 and Wyoming, right? So I want to share this information with you all. David said he's representing DC. Yeah, Martin, this from her YouTube husband. Okay, Martin, yeah. So this is the information that I really want to share with you all. And then I'm logging off. Is that if you don't have the money, right, you're going to have to use your credit. When you don't have the cash, you're going to have to make more of it. What is it? Is money, right? Using credit. So I was listening to this powerful information. To be honest with you, I was not going to go live tonight, but I heard these short clips. I've been listening to Mr. Corey P. Smith, the king of credit, right? The king of using credit to create more cash flow, or in other words, simple terms, using credit to invest, right? Flipping your credit, not to get in debt, right? But to invest. Not cutting up your credit cards, right? But liquidating your credit cards into cash so you can invest. So let's play this Rim.
For the last 100 years. And all of a sudden I tripped because Jay-Z put out his album this year talking about what's the secret credit. And I was screaming it in 2001. Mm-hmm. And now people are somewhat taking notice to what's going on, and what in the book is simply a blueprint. It's a very elementary way of explaining the whole industry of credit as it relates to politics, as it relates to banking, as it relates to life. And when people ask me, is it all about credit? My response sometimes is, it's not all about credit.
So what is the purpose of credit? Why is credit established? And because you have some people say you got to protect your credit. You see this big Experian link. People's personal information is out there, and people need to protect their credit, the FICO score, all of this. Why do people have to protect their credit, and what is the purpose of credit?
See, that's all a game. Because I can ask you the question right now. Have you met one person since this big Equifax breach or this Experian breach that say, hey, man, somebody really did get a hold of my information? Mm-hmm. You probably be hard pressed. The reason why, because the credit bureaus sometimes play the same game that the media plays the same game that the government plays when they put out stories, stage stories through the media. So if Equifax or Experian come out with a press release stating, hey, our database has been breached, the next move is, let me sell you some more of this identity theft protection product. Let me sell you some more of this credit monitoring product.
So what he's saying is that the credit agencies create the chaos to sell you a product, right? They create the chaos. They tell you, or someone working at Amazon, or et cetera, got a hold and stole identity, and we're offering this payout if you're a victim of identity theft, and people fill out the form applications. Many times they're not a victim of identity theft, right? But just hoping they get the payout. Then they instill the fear, right, to sell you a product or such as identity protection or identity IQs and things of that nature. So that's what he was referring to about that.
Right. There's two whole revenue streams worth billions. And people, they fall for that. I mean, that's the one thing that drives consumers. If it's not entertainment, it's fear.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so
then what is the purpose of credit? Why was it established in the first place?
man, credit was established in the first place with what I call, and this may be cliche, by corporate gangsters, insurance companies that spend millions of dollars lobbying to push their agendas to keep people in bondage by way of numbers. That's why I always say it's about algorithms. It's still about redlining. It might not always be about black and white. It's a poor thing. Like people spending so much time focusing on Donald Trump, and he's just a distraction when they probably need to be focused on the Koch brothers.
I'm gonna pause right there. And I've been telling you all that President Trump is all a distraction. And this video is actually made 3-4 years ago before everything surrounding him now, right? We know him from The Apprentice. It's all a distraction. It's all entertainment. And so people are so distracted about his moves, his making, this health pandemic, right? That within a couple of months, they're going to be just shocked because of these distractions and their lack of being laser focused through this, right? To see that I have a low credit score and no job and no income. What am I going to do for money, right? Watching entertainment, will that give a stimulus, right? Will I get my $300 unemployment for that only lasts in some states up to, for the states that's distributing it, will only last up to 6 weeks, right? Doesn't have to be 6 weeks. And so many people are distracted by things right now on the media and glued into the latest book written by President Trump and the political arguments that they don't understand. We are worse than the 1930s Great Recession, right? People are still traveling, right? Spending money that they should be stacking and storing because they think that this economy within the next couple of weeks will not be turning upside down. And it's all distractions, people. It's all distractions.
Been putting together a 100-year agenda to damn near, like, they want to create a constitutional convention to change a lot of laws to remove, like, the American public from democracy almost. But people so focused on Donald Trump, and they putting all
He's just playing a role. That's his role, to keep people distracted.
Yeah, it's just a role to keep people distracted for real. Like I said this in an interview like a while back. I got a friend from Nigeria, and I was just teasing him. I was like, man, Nigerians, you guys known for getting money. And he was like, yeah. He said, because when we come over here, that's all we focus on. We don't get distracted by racism. We don't get distracted by politics. We don't get distracted by religion. because all of it's just distraction. He's like, we focus on money, and whether you want to admit it or not. If you don't have money, and I've been preaching this, the only way to get your hands on some money, you got to use what they gave you. Their asset. Okay, if you want to play the game, but say I need credit, then let's play the game, and I'm gonna use credit to get to the money. Like I just spoke on Jay-Z because he has that platform. So now when he says it, oh man, Jay said credit. I see that like in social media. It's like a tagline now.
Mhm.
But I guess you gotta have that platform because, like I said, man, I was talking about that in 2001, 99. Like everything that you see me doing now, whether I invest in real estate, whether I invest in cars to use something that depreciate in value to bring me income, whatever I do, it's all done because I know how to utilize credit.
Okay, so he said whatever he do or does, it's all done because he knows how to use credit. And I just came before you to to share that clip with you, ask you to keep focused, right, on the big deal, and ask you to get your credit up. We are just now in the first phase of FICO 10, right? FICO 10, they announced it earlier this year that the FICO 10 will be released, which means instead of looking at a 30-day or 60-day snapshot of your credit, it's going to look at now a 2-year history. And in times where student loan debts or personal debt did not weigh in heavily on your credit report, now all your whole debt picture or window will weigh in on your credit report. In times past, your credit card debt meant more, right? Your revolving credit card debt or charge cards, department store cards, weighed in more if you had high balances on them than a personal loan, a vehicle loan, or a student loan would. Now those changes are coming, right? And so when people don't have the cash, many Americans were paying down their credit card debt, but now they're without a job and they have to rely on their credit cards just to pay the essential bills and to make essential purchases like food, groceries, etc. Right? And so want to share with you all that this is a transition. It's going to be either a wealth transfer, which means you can get real estate, rental houses on discount, on sale, right? The cheapest debt that you ever had, or, right, or you will be on the other end. It's not going to be anywhere in between, right? The middle class is getting poorer. And as the government continues to run up the debt, let me show you all how much debt that every U.S. citizen right now is in debt to the United States. I just looked at this U.S. debt clock today. I can pull this up. So if you're not using credit to partake in this wealth transfer, you're going to be left behind. But if you use credit, right, and become an investor, the highest credit score you can get, D-Dog, is an 850, right? That's the highest. But I tell people all the time, don't get me wrong. I want you to seek for the highest and seek for the excellency, right? Hello, Donald. Hello, Donald. But don't die with an 850 credit score, right? Meaning that what I mean by that is don't have an 850 credit score and you don't have any investments and assets with it. Do not die with an 850 credit score. right? And so let's look at the US debt clock. Let's look at the US debt clock. Yes, 850 is the highest you can get for most, but you leverage your credit to invest, right? Leverage that credit. Do more with your credit score than buy a vehicle or a house or max out credit cards to buy things. So you have debt per taxpayer. This is what every United States citizens owe currently. This is the U.S. national debt, 200, right, and $14,000.88. $214,000.88, right? Let me look at the silver and gold. I haven't looked at that today. Silver to gold ratio is 3,000 for silver, $965 an ounce. Gold is 30,135, meaning the amount of cash printed out per ounce of silver and gold available, right? So, Queen, why are you showing me this? Because this is what people don't understand. This is what they do not understand, that you need a strategy to fight these upcoming financial challenges that will be more prominent now than ever, right? So let me see how smart you all that's been following me. Who can answer number one? What's the silent income killer, right? Number one, what's the silent, well, I gave you the answer. The silent income killer is what? I didn't give you the answer, but I did say the silent income killer. What goes in this number one slot here? So this should be silent. Let's see where your financial education. So what would go as number one? The silent income killer is called what? And then I'm logging off. You all. The silent income killer is called what? I want to answer the question. I'm not going to be live long. This is stuff you don't learn. You don't learn in school. Let's see. JB says taxes. Okay, JB says taxes. Anyone else? Anyone else want to take a guess at that? In a couple seconds. Give you 10 seconds. All right. Fronte says taxes. Sandra says debt. All right. Thank you. You got it. Inflation. Right on the dot. Inflation. No, cars depreciate, right? It's not that. You got it right on the dot. Inflation. Inflation is the silent income killer, right? Does it silently. The dollar loses its value. That's what inflation is. You all read all of that. The dollar loses its value. Business owners control how much things cost, right? So they can increase pricing or prices, right? Social distancing, example, right now with restaurants, they can only seat people at 25% capacity. So if they can seat less, they have to charge more to make up for that overhead. So inflation, slowly prices increase. You're seeing it right now in your grocery bills, right? It's the silent income killer that's your financial challenges. And the more stimulus is printed into the economy, more free money that's rotating around, the more, right, pricing will increase. So the second financial challenge is what? Can you all give me the answer to that? I'll give you 10 seconds for that. maybe 20 or 30 seconds, right? 20 or 30 seconds. Number 2, and read the 4 bullet points. Your second financial challenge is what? You lose 1/3, your first 1/3 of your paycheck. It's your largest expense. Right. You pay this on your income, property, and sales. An example, this will increase as more stimulus checks are printed and Fronte and Gwen have it correctly. It's taxes, right? It's taxes. And so we call this the chainsaw massacre because it rips up your paycheck, right? It rips up your paycheck. If you have a paycheck, you're getting taxed from 28 to 33%, meaning that you're only bringing home 60 to 70% on the dollar, right? You can go back at the beginning of this podcast. I talked about each day's credit score. Other than that, you can just Google it. So we have taxes, right? You have taxes. It's not as silent as inflation is. Inflation 3% annually kind of creeps up on you. But taxes, the chainsaw massacre and taxes, it rips up your check. It makes a lot of noise. And so what people don't understand, that it's more than one way to make money through a job, but that's all most people understand how to do it. And so they don't understand how to use their credit to invest to get more income. They only know how to use credit to get bad debt, right? So taxes is right. Yeah, AR. Hello, AR. So refreshing to have you on. Yes, a little bit we playing Jeopardy, right? I love to teach. Okay, LaVille, Facebook taxes. Sandra taxes as well. Right, Sandra is correct because it's taken off the top, especially if you do not have a home-based business. And so your third financial challenge is what? And just read the bulletin points, right? You lose a second of your paycheck. See, that's why I tell people that January through April, you're just working to pay the government back in taxes. See, they get the first third of your paycheck. Right here, the government get that first third of your paycheck. The chainsaw massacre. You lose a third of the first third of your paycheck. Now, this is where you lose the second third. This is where you lose the second third. And it's your second largest expense. Remember, taxes is your largest. This is your second largest, right? And the interest on this works forever. Now, it can be your family curse, or you can use it to be a generational wealth building tool or a blessing for your family. Right? It's not jobs. Mar says not a woman. For some women, they think that men are their biggest expense or children. Right? W-4, no, not W-4. The stuff you get in every day, right? When you want that house or that vehicle, hopefully it's not financed at 18 or 15%. Yes, we say inflation was the first one. It's not credit cards, Sandra, because you can use credit cards to invest. You can use credit cards to invest in real estate, right? And credit cards are credit. Jesus and I was having this conversation recently. Credit cards is credit. But when you sign for something like a vehicle or a house, right, that creates a debt, an instrumental debt of agreement. Thank you, Sandra. I don't understand why most people didn't know the answer was debt. That's where you lose the other third of your paycheck. So debt can fall under the category of having a mortgage or paying rent, right? Because at least with a mortgage, you can have equity and you can get cash out of a house. When you pay rent, right, that's a second type of debt that you have no leverage in to use if you wanted to invest. See, what happened during Hurricane Katrina, for example, is that a lot of people during that time received housing from their family line, and they needed to escape Louisiana because of Hurricane Katrina. And because they had bad credit, they could not pull the equity out of that house to get the cash they needed to relocate and to move when Katrina hit. So they had to stay because of bad credit and take that hit in disaster, right? So I consider debt is anything that you have to sign in a contractual agreement to create money out of thin air. Anything that can be repossessed, right, or bankruptcy, or taken away, right? Credit cards do not fall under that category at all. So anytime you have to create a signed instrument of an agreement with payment terms, you are creating debt. And most people create bad debt. Now, what most people do with credit cards is they use them to buy liability, things that depreciate in value, instead of assets, things that appreciate. So that's your second largest expense. So when it's high unemployment, for example, people get into more debt, right? People get into more debt because they don't have the income at this point. So your fourth thing that's stealing your paycheck, and you lose a third of your paycheck, and you celebrate it every month, and they spend billions of dollars marketing just to you, and it causes your 401ks to decrease, or your pensions, right? What is number 4? Let's have a quick countdown on. What's number 4? Not child supported kids. No. Give y'all 30 seconds. Holidays. Fronte, you are a very smart individual, right? You're absolutely correct. And they call this big businesses. They call it capitalism. They market to you all the time. And some of you all, and I don't mean any harm, I'm a little serious about this. You all are putting the laughy emojis in, but see, you don't learn this stuff at school, and you don't even know what's stealing your paycheck. And if you don't know what's stealing your paycheck, then you can't correct your mindset. See, it's not funny that every January you feel like you need to celebrate New Year's, and you need to go out and buy 2020 glasses and the cap and go out partying and get your alcohol budget on, and your food budget, and your new outfit. It's not funny that every February you want to celebrate Valentine's Day because they market to you, and your brain you haven't been educated. That is all by design, right? It's not funny that in March, whether you have the money or not, you want to go on that spring break vacation, right? You want to use your credit cards for vacationing and not to invest, and you don't have the money, you're not making up the money. This eats up the other third of your paycheck. And then in April, right, you have, what goes on in April? I forgot. I haven't did this in a long time. April. What goes on in April? Let me St. Patrick. Oh, yes, thank you, Zeus. Easter. And you know what? Let me on this note, and then I'm signing out because I'm tired. My voice is very tired. Easter, and let me show you how religion plays in this as well. Right, then in May you have graduation and Mother's Day. Right, then in June they hit you with Father's Day. They hit you with Father's Day, and then July you got to get the barbecue, and 4th of July, When is Memorial Day too? Memorial Day. Then July, 4th of July. Oh, and then for the African, the Black and Brown community, they've started celebrating Juneteenth. So they celebrate 2 Independence Day. And then you're not even independent. You are enslaved to bad credit, negative cash flow, and bad debt, right? And so, okay, you all saying in May. And then in August they give you back to school shopping. Gotta get the kids new clothes for back to school, new shoes, right? Air Force Ones if they don't want to crease. They walk like their ankle is broke. The new J's, new Jordans, fresh haircut, right? The fresh braids, box braids, etc., etc. And then September, you have Labor Day, right? That comes around. And then October, Halloween, got to get the costumes. Yeah, I forgot. Thank you. Cinco de Mayo, right? They want to celebrate that. Mother's Day, Father's Day, Memorial Day, Labor Day. All big marketing. And it's all a setup. Thanksgiving, Christmas, then people are broke. Yeah, in September, they bring you Labor Day. What are you celebrating? That you get taxed at the highest tax bracket that you can get taxed in? What I mean, you are slaves to the U.S. government. Do you see how much they tax you? That you owe them per citizen $214,000? Of course, Cassandra. Can't forget birthdays, anniversaries, weddings. This is the setup to stay broke. You don't know how to use credit. You pay high in taxes, right? Through the highest income tax bracket that you can. Okay, wow. Okay, Carissa, I didn't know that. Then they get you in taxes. Then they get you in inflation, which then all of this taxes cause bad debt, right? You're paying so high in taxes out of your paycheck. It causes bad debts. Yes, engagements, baby reveal party. We haven't even put in, we said, spring break vacation. And people, you know what? The people that are not rich want to look rich, and the rich doesn't want to look. You can't tell a rich and wealthy person. But the people that don't have the money always want to look rich. They want the high-end cars, the Louis Vuitton, the Gucci. They wanted the Polo. They want to look rich, but are assets and credit poor, and oftentimes cash poor as well. Right? Then you recycle and repeat, and we go all the way back to January to start the cycle again to keep you in bondage. Right? So if you're not Christmas, they have Kwanzaa, then you have Hanukkah. Exactly. Columbus Day, Halloween. And in essence, you work for the IRS. Because let me show you how you work for the IRS. You see this? A, no cash flow management. A W-2 person is taxed anywhere between 18 and 33%. 18 and 33%. You work, you're taxed, then you spend. So you don't get paid first from your labor. The IRS does, right? So your whole solution is to shift that. It's called income shifting. Shift that money back to you. Once you minimize taxes, people, you minimize debt and you minimize your expenses, and now you can increase your credit score. Now, if you had a 1099, at least you're taxed from 18 to 23%. That's a little better. But a lot of people don't have a 1099 as a business. They have a 1099 as an independent contractor and an employee. We still put them in the A tax bracket. But if you have a 1099 as a business, like the home-based business I have, right? The business works. Then the business get paid. You become the business. You convert yourself in front of EIN into a business. And then you get taxed last. See, with a paycheck, you get taxed every pay period. And then again at the end of the year when you have to file income tax. Right? So an investor is taxed less than 18%. This is called investing income. And this sheet doesn't show it, but I can show you a D where when you use debt to invest, you're taxed at 0%. The money is working, you reinvest it, and you produce more money, right? Not you working. Is you flip the script and you make the money work. But if you use debt to invest, you get taxed at 0%, right? Carissa said, if you're not wearing a label, people assume that you're broke. Wow, exactly. Right? So you have to convert your social into an EIN. And the best way to do it is through a home-based business. And then you have to get your credit up so you can use credit, AKA debt, to invest. Right? So I'm going to share this and I'm logging off because I'm on longer than I expected. This is going to be the wrap up for this podcast or live stream. Why poor people are addicted to poverty, right?
It's been put in your face so many times, been shown to you so many times that you just accept it. So it becomes very important for you to master the art of deception because most of the time they operate out of these principles, whether you want to admit it or not. It's almost like credit experts and credit repair has become what I call a poor man's, it's like a financial epidemic because everybody claims they credit experts and they really not. They really not credit experts, and they find it out once they get in front of somebody like me, and I get to talking about things like bumpage when it comes to removing inquiries, or I get to talking about jamming your credit file for 30 days and using that tactic to remove anything off of your credit, just based off the fact that you truly understand how the software system works within the credit bureaus and how you manipulate the system by using the jamming process. So I put a lot of focus into building legacy, into building savings, into being responsible. That's why I always make this statement whenever you see me in one of these videos. I say it's more than just about credit, and people really need to get there. Instead, you got a lot of people, and I keep saying this, you got a lot of people who capitalizing on your ignorance and say, hey, I do credit repair, or I'm a credit repair expert. They have seasoned themselves with the general information when it comes to credit repair, and they selling you hope, and most people buying into it. Like a lot of things, man, real talk. A lot of things that used to be important to me when they talk about like a person getting to a point where they become happy with themselves, or certain things are not as important, meaning material things. When people do make this statement, say money won't make you happy, then it depends on where you at in life. Because if you broke, then money gonna make you happy, right?
it's gonna make you happy. Given the fact if you don't have any other problems, like you're not on drugs or you're not having any issues with health. So if you don't have any of those problems, and your problem is money, then yeah, money gonna make you happy. Most people, because they have not been exposed to the good life, they don't even they don't know how important they don't know how important credit is, and they don't know how much of an advantage that they can put themselves in if they just truly took the time to understand credit, to figure it out. It's not hard.
All right. So he said, because people are never exposed to the good life, they don't understand how important credit is. The most they dream and a vision their credit to do is to get a house, get nice cars, go on shopping splurges, and that's it. Or to say, I have an 850 credit score. An 850 credit score can do just as much for you as a 750 above, right? It's about the same thing. But the question is, what are you doing with it? Are you making your life better with it, or are you putting yourself more in debt? Right? M. Smith says, I'm a truck driver, been driving for 5 years now. I started my mobile detailing business in Pressure Waste 2 years ago. I'm doing well. This business, okay. How much business credit do you have? M. Smith, it takes a lot of credit and capital to operate and continues to maintain a business. And congratulations on your business. I like the movie, The Legend of It. It breaks it down. And so, I come before people because it's just not having good credit is just not the answer. You can have good credit and negative cash flow because you don't understand inflation, taxes, and debt. Right? You don't know the difference between debt and credit. You don't understand cash flow management and business income. You don't understand cash flow expansion. What's cash flow expansion? It means expanding your paycheck, having more cash flow and money flowing away from you, coming back to you. How to turn liabilities into assets. How to turn your home or condo or apartment from a liability to an asset through a home-based business. How to pay your children up to $12,400. How to not take pride in getting tax refunds when you're getting taxed 28 to 33% out of your labor, out of your paycheck. And so when I'm talking about this, I'm very serious. I know I'm glad you're in a very upbeat mood, but I'm knowing half of you all don't have this education. And I know where the economy is going. And you got to look past the distractions, right? You got to look past what the distractions are going on with the politics and Pelosi and Mnuchin and Trump. You got to see that we are going to be in one of the worst, greatest depressions since the Great Depression of the 1930s, right? And when you don't have the cash, you're going to, or you can use the credit. Hey, I'm signing out. This is the Queen of Credit. My 50 plus minutes of fame is up. Here's to your health, your wealth, your credit, and your cash flow, and your peace and prosperity. You need credit help and you want to flip your credit, use your credit to invest. You see my website strolling at the bottom, www.fixmycreditandcash.com. I looked at this credit union today, right? A person with a clean slate, a clean credit profile, like my daughter at 21. I add her as authorized user on 2 of my good paying history credit cards, right? Get her a 700 over credit score, and then get her a personal credit card. And then we can tap into this credit union out of New York that starts out offering you a $50,000 line of credit. Then you can liquidate that credit into cash to invest, right? Stuff that they don't teach you in schools and stuff I don't even elaborate on my live streams. So, hey, you all have a great night. My birthday is Saturday, September 26th. So I'm not planning on doing any more live streams for the rest of the week, right? However, if you do want to send a birthday gift or a donation for the time and knowledge that I put into or instill into you all, this is my Cash App, September 26th, and it's LD Financial Coaching. If you want to give a birthday gift, I would gladly appreciate it and give you a great welcome. Balance transfer checks. Balance transfer checks is one way to liquidate credit cards, but it's not the only way. Sometimes credit cards don't always come with balance transfer checks, especially, I'm not giving the name of that credit union. There's some people pay me for, right? And credit consultation. So that's not I give out freely. Thank you all so much, AR and Jean. Thank you. It's not belated, it's September 26th. However, not all credit cards come with balance transfer checks, so you have to have other ways to liquidate them, right? That you can do. So thank you so much. I will. Again, I'm not planning, I may do some uploads, but I'm really planning on taking a break on YouTube, possibly for the rest of the week. But who knows? You know, I might want to go live wherever I'm at, celebrate my birthday. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you all have a great night. I'm signing out. And just tell you, balance transfer check is one way to liquidate credit cards, not the only way. So yeah.